Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever made a mistake when speaking in the corporate environment? Have you ever wished that you could pause or rewind what you just said? Have you ever said the wrong thing or perhaps used incorrect grammar? Well, let's make sure that doesn't happen again. And in today's episode, I want to introduce you to 25 business buzzwords. In this session, you will learn, you will master, you will become so familiar with 25 business English buzzwords. And by the end of this video, you will be able to use these 25 buzzwords that have been selected to impress with confidence and fluency. Basically, by the end of this video, you will have zero doubts about how to use these buzzwords. Not only will I introduce you to 25 advanced buzzwords, but I will give you examples for the usage, and we will even dive into a podcast that will enhance your listening skills. By the end of this video, you will not only know 25 new buzzwords, but you will be fluent, you will be confident, you will be able to use them with ease and, more importantly, with precision. Now, if this is your first time with me, if this is the first video of mine you are watching, well, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Nas, a native English speaker originally from South Africa. I am CELTA certified and I have more than 12 years of international classroom and online experience. I create all of the content for my classes and my courses. Everything is bespoke. Check out our Bridge the Gap course if you are someone who is stuck at B2. These courses and these videos have been designed with one objective in mind: to give you confidence, to help you become fluent in the workplace, to get rid of anxiety and stress, and to give you really the confidence to walk into a meeting, to walk into a boardroom and express yourself with confidence using the correct vocabulary, appropriate vocabulary. Hey, business English buzzwords. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Are you ready for our first buzzword? And it's synergy. Repeat after me, synergy. And what is synergy? It's the interaction of two or more organizations, substance, agents, whatever you like. And the aim is to produce a combined effect that's greater than the sum of their separate parts. Okay, so it's to produce a combined effect, which is awesome. Synergy. Second on our list is disruptive innovation. What is disruptive innovation? Well, it's an innovation that creates a new market and value network, and it eventually disrupts an existing market and value network. So it basically displaces established market-leading firms, products, and alliances. Third on our list, and I'm sure you know this one, it's pivot. Pivot. And what is to pivot? It's to shift strategy or direction in response to changes in the market or business environment. Number 4 on the list is paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. And this is a fundamental change in approach or even assumptions, underlying assumptions. It's a paradigm shift. It's a fundamental change in approach or thinking. Good. Next up, we have value proposition, and this is a promise of value that the company says it will deliver, and it's a belief from the customer that value will be experienced. So it's the company promising that value will be delivered and the customer believing that they will get value, that value will be experienced. Next up, we have core competency. Core competency. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? Let's try one more time. Core competency. And what is core competency? It's a unique strength or capability that provides a competitive advantage. Core competency, a unique strength. It provides a competitive advantage. Thought leadership. Thought leadership, it's the position of being recognized as an authority or expert in a particular field. So it often leads to influence, it leads to impact, thought leadership. I like this one. Blue sky thinking, blue sky thinking. What do you think it means? It kind of feels like thinking outside the box, right? Blue sky thinking. It's creative thinking that is not limited by preconceptions or constraints. Blue sky thinking. Next up on the list is low-hanging fruit. I know you've heard this one before. Come on, guys. We all know about low-hanging fruit. And what is low-hanging fruit? Easily achievable targets or goals that require minimal effort to accomplish, low-hanging fruit, targets that are easy to achieve, goals that require minimal effort. Next up, we have win-win, a win-win situation, and that's an outcome or resolution that benefits all parties involved. Growth hacking. What is growth hacking? It sounds illegal, but it's not. Growth hacking. It's a marketing technique that's focused on rapid experimentation across various channels and product development to identify the most effective ways to grow a business. So it's rapid experimentation across various channels, and the aim is to identify the most effective ways to grow a business. And what was the phrase again? Growth hacking. Well done. Next up, we have stakeholder. I'm sure you know this one. A stakeholder is any individual or group who can affect or is affected by the achievement of an organization's objectives. Stakeholders usually have a vote. Stakeholder, easy one. Next up, have you heard of an elevator pitch? What's an elevator pitch? It's a concise and compelling summary used to quickly and effectively communicate an idea, a product, or business opportunity. An elevator pitch, basically concise, as long or the amount of time it would take to go up or down in an elevator. So concise, right? Elevator pitch. And it's concise, but it's compelling, and it's a summary to quickly, effectively communicate an idea, a product, or a business opportunity. Elevator pitch. Scalability. Scalability. Listen to the pronunciation because the spelling is kind of strange. Scalability. And this is the capability of a system, a network, or a process to handle a growing amount of work. Its potential to be enlarged, to accommodate that growth. Scalability. Well done. Next up, we have disintermediation. Disintermediation, and this is the removal of intermediaries from a supply chain or process. And this is often done through technology. It happens because the intermediaries can be replaced by technology. Disintermediation, disintermediation. You have to practice that one a couple times. Disintermediation, the removal of intermediaries from a supply chain or from a process. And this is often enabled by technology. Agile. I'm sure you've heard the word agile before. Monkeys are agile, right? But what does agile mean in terms of business buzzwords? Well, agile is a project management approach which is characterized by flexibility and collaboration. Agile. This one is really, really interesting. Thought shower. It's a brainstorming session or collaborative discussion to generate ideas and solutions. Basically, another word for brainstorming. It's used to generate ideas and solutions. What was the phrase again? Thought shower. Thought shower. How do you remember these phrases? I tried to associate them with images. Thought shower. Thought shower. And a thought shower is what? A brainstorming session, a discussion for what? To generate ideas and solutions. Next up, we have blue-collar worker. And this is a person who performs manual labor, typically in manufacturing, construction, or some kind of trade occupation. Blue-collar worker, blue-collar worker. Next up, we have a strange one. Black swan event. Black swan event. Do you know what a black swan is? Do we see black swans all over the place? No, highly unlikely. They're very rare. So what do you think a black swan event is? Yeah, a highly improbable or unforeseen event, but it has significant consequences, a black swan event. Next up, we have the golden handshake. What is a golden handshake? A golden handshake is a financial incentive or compensation package offered to an executive or an employee upon retirement or termination. A golden handshake, it's a compensation package. Cash cow, cash cow. What is a cash cow? A cash cow is a product, a service, or a business unit that generates a steady and significant flow of income or profits. A cash cow, a business unit, a product, a service that generates a steady and significant flow of income or profits. Now, remember our blue collar worker? Well, we also have a white collar worker, a white collar worker. And what is a white collar worker? A white collar worker is a person who performs professional, administrative, or managerial work, typically in an office environment. White collar worker. Greenwashing, greenwashing. What is greenwashing? Well, greenwashing is the practice of making misleading or unsubstantiated claims about the environmental benefits of a product, service, or company. So is greenwashing a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah, greenwashing is a bad thing because it's the practice of making misleading or unsubstantiated claims about the environmental benefits of a product, a service, or a company. Next up, we have glass ceiling. What is a glass ceiling? A glass ceiling is an invisible barrier that prevents women and minorities from advancing to higher positions in the workplace. Glass ceiling, it's an invisible barrier. It prevents women and minorities from advancing to higher positions in the workplace. Next up, we have the golden parachute. And what is a golden parachute? It's a generous, lots and lots of dollar signs and lots of zeros. It's a generous severance or compensation package provided to top executives in the event of job loss due to a merger, due to acquisition, due to corporate restructuring. A golden parachute, a generous severance package, a generous compensation package. Okay, so what have we done so far? We've worked through 25 business English buzzwords, which are going to help you be fluent and confident in the workplace, but we need more. I said earlier on that I'm going to introduce you to example sentences so that you use these phrases with precision. So let's run through our 25 business buzzwords along with examples before we dive into our podcast. So stay tuned. If you watch this video till the end, I guarantee that you will be fluent and confident in the workplace. You will also impress your colleagues and your employees. They're going to wonder, how did this amazing change come about? Well, it's because you now know the correct vocabulary to use in a corporate setting. So stay tuned until the end. Okay, let's start with synergy again. And this was the interaction of two or more organizations to produce a combined effect that's greater than the separate effects. Great. Now let's look at how we can use synergy in a sentence. The merger between the two companies created synergy and increased profitability. Well done. Next up, we have disruptive innovation. And if you remember, it's an innovation that creates a new market and it eventually disrupts an existing market and value network. It can even displace established market-leading firms. How do we use Disruptive innovation in a sentence. Well, Airbnb's disruptive innovation transformed the hospitality industry by offering alternative accommodation options to traditional hotels. So would you agree that Airbnb was a disruptive innovation? Did it create a new market? Did it disrupt an existing market? Yes, it did. So when you think of disruptive innovation, think in terms of Airbnb. Well done. Next up, pivot. You already know this phrase. It's to shift strategy or direction in response to changes in the market or business environment. How can we use pivot in a sentence? The company decided to pivot its focus from retail sales to e-commerce. Why? Due to the rise in online shopping. Very logical. Paradigm shift, and this is a fundamental change in approach or underlying assumptions. But how do I use paradigm shift in a sentence correctly? Well, the advent of the internet brought about a paradigm shift in how people communicate and access information. Would you agree with me that the internet brought about a paradigm shift? Yeah, good. Next up, we have value proposition, and this is the promise of value that's to be delivered. This is what the company says, and what the customer believes is that they will experience value, they will get value. How do I use it in a sentence, though? It's a great phrase, right? But how do I use it in a sentence? Well, the company's value proposition is its commitment to providing high-quality products at affordable prices. So what's your company's value proposition? Next up is core competency. And this is the unique strength that provides a competitive advantage. Let's use it in a sentence again with a company. So the company's core competency in technology allows it to develop innovative products ahead of its competitors. Okay, so that's its advantage, its unique strength. Well done. Thought leadership. Being recognized as an authority or expert in a particular field. It often leads to influence and impact. Let's use it in a sentence. The company's thought leadership on sustainability issues has positioned the company as a leader in corporate social responsibility. Now, that cute little one, blue sky thinking, which is creative thinking that's not limited by any constraints or preconceptions. So, how can I use this? I really want to use it in a sentence. Well, our brainstorming session encouraged blue sky thinking. Why? To generate innovative ideas for the project. Next up, we have low-hanging fruit, easily achievable targets, easily achievable goals, low-hanging fruit, goals that require minimal effort to accomplish. And we can use it this way in a sentence. The marketing team focused on the low-hanging fruit by targeting existing customers for repeat purchases. Low-hanging fruit, well done. Win-win situation, an outcome or resolution that benefits all parties involved. The negotiation resulted in a win-win situation for both the company and its suppliers. Win-win. Benefited all parties involved. Next up is growth hacking. And what is growth hacking? It's a marketing technique focused on rapid experimentation across various channels to identify the most effective ways to grow a business. Growth hacking. How can I use growth hacking in a sentence? Well, the startup used growth hacking strategies to acquire a large user base within a short period. Growth hacking, marketing technique focused on rapid experimentation across various channels. Why? Because they want to identify the most effective ways to grow a business. Growth hacking. Stakeholder, we said this one was an easy one. It's an individual or a group that can affect or is affected by the achievement of an organization's objectives. Simple sentence. The company's stakeholders include employees, customers, investors, and the local community. Remember the lift, British English, lift, American English, elevator, elevator pitch. The concise, compelling summary used to quickly and effectively communicate an idea, a product, or a business opportunity. Now, how can I use elevator pitch in a great sentence? Well, the entrepreneur delivered a persuasive elevator pitch to investors, outlining the value proposition of her startup. Elevator pitch, it was quick, it was effective, it communicated the idea, the product, or the business opportunity. Perfect. Next up, we have scalability. Remember the capability of a system to handle a growing amount of work, its potential to be enlarged to accommodate any type of growth, scalability. Good. And we can use it really easily in this sentence. The cloud-based platform offers scalability, allowing businesses to easily expand their operations as needed. Remember disintermediation? What was it? The removal of intermediaries, disintermediation, right, from the supply chain. And this is often enabled by technology. So how can we use disintermediation in a sentence? Well, the rise of e-commerce, right, has led to disintermediation in retail. Makes sense because customers can now purchase products directly from manufacturers. Remember agile, the monkey analogy? Yeah, it's a management approach that's characterized by flexibility and collaboration. So how do I use agile as a business buzzword? Okay, the software development team adopted an agile methodology to deliver updates to the product more quickly. Remember the shower? What was it? Thought shower, a brainstorming session to generate ideas and solutions. So I'm going to use thought shower in the following sentence. We held a thought shower with the team to come up with creative marketing strategies for the new product launch. Easy, thought shower. And now we move on to the blue collar worker, the manual laborer. Great job. So I'll use blue collar worker in this sentence. The factory employs blue collar workers to assemble the products on the production line. Okay. And let's move on to that other animal, not the monkey. We spoke about the swan. Very good. The black swan event, a highly improbable event, which has significant consequences. So this is an excellent example of a black swan event, the COVID-19 pandemic. Would you agree that the COVID-19 pandemic was a black swan event, that it disrupted global economies and societies? I mean, the consequences were significant, right? So when you think in terms of a black swan event, think about COVID-19. Perfect. Now let's talk about money, the golden handshake, the financial incentive or compensation package offered to an executive or even an employee upon retirement, which is when they reach the retiring age, 65 in some countries, lower in others, or termination. Now I'm going to use golden handshake in this sentence. The CEO received a generous golden handshake upon stepping down from his position. More animal business buzzwords, and it's cash cow. Remember the business, the product, the service that generates a steady and significant flow of income or profits. I want a cash cow, don't you? How can we use cash cow in a sentence? The company's flagship product has become a cash cow, providing the majority of its revenue. Now, we spoke about blue-collar worker. Let's talk about the white-collar worker, the professional, who usually works in an office. Well done. The finance department employs white-collar workers to manage accounting and financial reporting. Next up, we have greenwashing. Remember that practice of making misleading claims about the environmental benefits of a product, service, or company? Yeah, not good. These are misleading claims or unsubstantiated claims. How can we use greenwashing in a sentence? Well, the company faced criticism for greenwashing after falsely advertising its products as eco-friendly. Okay, so the company faced criticism for greenwashing. The company has been greenwashing. Okay, they falsely advertising their products as eco-friendly. Their products are not really eco-friendly. Glass ceiling, you got it. Glass ceiling, that invisible barrier that prevents women and minorities from advancing to higher positions in the workplace. So despite her qualifications, she felt she had hit a glass ceiling in her career advancement. We had the golden handshake, and now it's time for the golden parachute. And this is a generous, think of zeros and more zeros, severance or compensation package provided to top executives in the event of job loss due to a merger, acquisition, corporate restructuring. The CEO negotiated a golden parachute clause in her contract to ensure financial security in case of termination. So, what have you achieved at this point? You've learned, you've mastered, and you've had real examples of how to use 25 really amazing advanced buzzwords. Okay, but there's more. I really want to help you to improve your listening skills and to practice your listening skills. So, it's time for Podcast with me, Nas. Welcome to Navigating Business Buzzwords in Real Life, where we explore how common business buzzwords manifest in everyday situations. I'm your host, Nas, and in today's episode, we'll delve into real-life scenarios where buzzwords like synergy, pivot, and disruptive innovation come into play. Let's start with synergy. Picture this. You're leading a project team and you notice that different departments are working in silos, hindering collaboration and productivity. By fostering synergy among team members, you can harness their diverse skills and perspectives to achieve common goals more effectively. That's synergy in action. Next up, let's talk about pivot. Imagine you're a small business owner and you've been selling handmade jewelry at local markets. However, due to the pandemic, in-person sales have plummeted. To pivot your business, you decided to shift your focus to e-commerce and launch an online store. This strategic pivot enables you to reach a wider audience and adapt to changing consumer behaviors. Now let's explore disruptive innovation. Think about the rise of streaming services like Netflix, which revolutionized the entertainment industry. By offering a convenient and affordable alternative to traditional cable TV, Netflix disrupted the market and transformed how people, like you and me, consume content. This example highlights the power of disruptive innovation to challenge existing norms and create new opportunities. And that wraps up our mini podcast on navigating business buzzwords in real life. Remember, understanding these concepts and applying them strategically can help you navigate the ever-evolving landscape of business. Okay, you are now ready. Absolutely 100% ready to use these 25 buzzwords in the corporate environment and just blow everyone away. You have learned, you have practiced, you have mastered 25 business buzzwords with me today. But not only that, you've also honed your listening skills, which means that when you are dealing with someone, you will understand them even better. But wait, there's more, there's more. Click on the link in the description. You'll get the full lesson plan, but there's something very special that I have for you today. It's the PDF of a role play. And how can this help you? Well, this is a real life situation, and you want to practice using real life situations, right? So grab the PDF, print it out, sit with a friend, and read out the different roles. It's fun, it's entertaining, but above all, you will be really solidifying the vocabulary, the 25 buzzwords that we have covered today. Practice makes perfect. We've had a lot of input today. I've given you a lot of information. You've been listening, you've been probably taking notes, but there's a need for output. You need to practice. So grab that PDF, grab that role play, and have some fun. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Nas, native English speaker, CELTA certified. And if you enjoyed this session, please like and subscribe.